Hey everybody, and welcome to welcome to another week of Saturday School. My name is Various Smith, and I am your host and a co-organizer of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group. So, without further ado, we will go through the announcements for Saturday School. And I will share my screen. All right. Here we go. Okay, we'll get to that tab later. So this is our YouTube channel, which is a place you can subscribe to actually receive updates from everything that has to do with the WordPress, the Inland Empire WordPress community. Whenever these broadcasts are complete, then they're uploaded here, so they're all archived. Saturday School is archived here on our YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to Inland Empire or go to youtube.com and search for Inland Empire WordPress. When you do a search for Inland Empire WordPress, then you will be brought to this screen. So go ahead and check us out there. And the second place that I would like to show you is our Twitter account. If you are on Twitter, please check us out and follow us on Twitter. We have currently 164 followers, but right now we're broadcasting live, and so you'll see one new tweet. Saturday School is now live, hashtagged appropriately. So follow us there on Twitter. And then the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group is also found here on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. So you can follow this page and click here to watch videos. One other thing I would like to share with you is our group. This is our Facebook group, and this is where we're communicating most of the time. If you are a part of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group, then we're posting things in here on a regular basis to inform you, keep you updated, communicate with each other with regard to things that may be coming up in the WordPress community, things that may be coming up for our Meetup group personally, resources such as podcasts, videos, and things that are just helpful in general for web developers who develop with WordPress. And in case you have not checked it out yet, go to meetup.com/Inland Empire WP. This is the place where you can see every one of our meetups. You can RSVP for future meetups, and you can see the location of our meetups here on the meetup.com site for Inland Empire WordPress group, which is Inland Empire WP. Meetup.com/Inland Empire WP. Check that out. We also have our website. This website, the goal of this website for this year is to become more of a resource for web developers in the Inland Empire and beyond. Two of our most recent posts are here on the front page posted. The first one is one by Greg Franklin, who is a current co-organizer as well for the Inland Empire WordPress group, who's also in this broadcast today. It's from last month. Our theme was, it's from this month. And we meet every first Tuesday of the month, so the actual meetup has passed, but it was this month. And it was on I Love WordPress. A speaker came from San Diego. His name was Greg Taylor, and you can go to this website and read more about Greg. You can see some interesting links from his presentation. You can also listen to the entire presentation here on the blog. So check that out. And one other post that we have from another member of our Meetup group is what happened to my image on Facebook, posted by Jess Bochter. And it's a very helpful resource if you're wondering what happened to the image of your post when you post it from your WordPress website to Facebook. Check that out. And finally, if you are on this website, you can tune in to our Saturday School broadcast simply by going to the homepage and clicking on the Saturday School banner, which is currently not linked for some reason, but I will link that. But all you would have to do is go to the URL and type in Saturday-School, and you can actually watch this broadcast from the website. So check us out here as well. The place that we meet every month on the first Tuesday of the month is called Riverside IO. If you would like to check out more about this amazing co-working / hacker space, go to riverside.io and you can read a brief description. You can view images of what the place looks like, and you could also become a member for $100 a month or $50 a month if you are a student. Email them at info@riverside.io for more information, and they will get you signed up. So if you're in the Riverside area, this is right downtown on Market Street. We meet, our Meetup group actually meets here every first Tuesday of the month. It's a great spot, and I would highly encourage you to look into becoming a member if you are self-employed, work from home, or anything like that. It's a great spot, and you just want to get out of the house sometime and you live close by in Riverside. Check out Riverside.io. WordPress.org. This is the place where you will download the resource for Saturday School, which is the self-hosted version of WordPress. When you go to the website, the top right there's a large blue download WordPress button. You click on that and go there to download the current version of WordPress. This is the one that we're using as opposed to WordPress.com. So there is a distinction, and if you will go back to our Saturday School archives, we talk about that in some of our Saturday Schools archives. So check that out. And also on the WordPress.org website, there is a lot of different resources, not only the actual core of the software, but there are also forums. There is the documentation, which I would highly recommend anyone who is beginning to work with WordPress come through and peruse. The documentation can be found at codex.wordpress.org/main_page. So we call this the codex, affectionately the codex, place where you can really dig in. And if you're just at the beginner level, or if you're extremely advanced, then the WordPress software is very well documented, and you will find everything that you need within the codex and through our community. So that's why the forums are here as well, because within the forums you can ask questions and you can get answers. I would say forums could be the second line of defense after a Facebook group because Facebook groups are a little bit more real time than the forums. So Facebook groups, forums, and then the codex as far as support is concerned. The website you're currently looking at is called WordCamp Central. And the reason why I'm bringing you here is because WordCamp Central is a part of the place where things are coordinated for WordCamps. WordCamps are conferences that happen usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, usually on the weekend. And they include different tracks of learning, design, development, and even just like a business track lots of times. And you come here and usually there are 200 to 300 developers. Actually, they vary in size. WordCamps do vary in size, but it is a conference where all weekend long you're getting fed lots of information about WordPress. You're learning about people in the community, and it's an extremely amazing value for the amount of money that it costs for you to attend. And the price usually ranges around 40 to 50 bucks. There is a WordCamp Miami coming up. If you go to the website, you can check that out. WordCamp Miami on February 19th and the 21st. It's actually next weekend. And I have another tab open here because there is another WordCamp coming very soon called WordCamp San Diego. So if you are here in Southern California and you are looking to be a part of a WordCamp, you might want to come here and check this out really quick because, oh man, their tickets are going to sell out fast. I'm not sure if the tickets are currently on sale or if they are not. Do you know if they are on sale? Does anybody know if tickets are on sale?
They haven't speakers. So
are they what? Yes?
They haven't announced it yet, so I don't think they're on sale.
Okay, so they haven't announced it yet, so they're not on sale, but you could actually come take a sneak peek at the website. Hopefully I didn't spoil the surprise with showing you this, but check it out here, and whenever the tickets do go on sale, if you are actually a part of the Facebook group that I showed you earlier, you're going to know the tickets are on sale, and you will have the opportunity to actually buy a ticket and go to WordCamp San Diego. I will be speaking there, so I encourage you to get your ticket. And finally, not finally, but also WordPress TV. If you are wanting to understand more about the WordPress community and these WordCamps that I just mentioned, go to WordPress.tv and you will have the opportunity to watch previous WordCamps. You can also watch a presentation by one of the founders of WordPress, Matt Mullenweg, called The State of the Word. There are several of these State of the Word recordings actually archived on this website, so you can get a feel of where the technology WordPress has come from and where it's going in the future, if you're very interested in that. But there's tons of other things for you to learn and really pick up from this website called WordPress.tv. So most of the broadcasts, or most of the videos that are uploaded to this website, are WordPress related event type videos. So go ahead and check this website out, which is an amazing website for you to be able to learn more about the WordPress community and community gatherings. Last but not least, I would like to let you guys know about ServerPress. As part of Saturday School, we are developing the websites that we developed locally because this is the safest way. It's the best practice, and it's recommended. If you go to serverpress.com, and you can download their software called Desktop Server, and you can build right along with us. You can get started for free. And if you are wanting to direct deploy, which is what we do in our final class, we do a direct deploy to the server, then you will need to upgrade to the premium version of Desktop Server, which is $99.95, and that counts for a year of all the features of Desktop Server and support, which is excellent, by the way, and you will really not regret it. So go ahead and check out Desktop Server as well. And now it is 9:18, and I'm going to stop the announcements because we are going to get into our lesson. So I will close this tab and I will open and share actually our presentation. Here we go, of Saturday School. Okay, thank you again for coming to Saturday School. If you're watching this on the YouTube broadcast that has been archived, then then you're probably, it's okay. You're skipping through the announcements, but I just want to let you know a little bit about Saturday School in the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group. So once again, it's associated by myself, Various, and it's part of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group. We are WordPress enthusiasts from the Inland Empire. We meet once a month. First Tuesday in person to discuss all things WordPress. We meet via live stream virtually every Saturday for Saturday School. You can find the archives on YouTube, as I mentioned earlier. We also meet in our online Facebook group. So the rest of the time, you can also come there for help and support. It doesn't matter if you've been working with WordPress, for a short time or not at all, or many years. We welcome you to our family. Come and learn. So why did I create Saturday School? Saturday School was created to help fill in the gaps of learning that members of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group had, and for those who will find it on YouTube channel afterwards. So if there are any gaps of learning, and sometimes I cover more, sometimes I cover less, sometimes I'll get into more detail or less detail. So even though we're going through a particular guide, things change up a little bit with every program. We cover the basics in Saturday School of WordPress theme setup and administration without needing to touch the code. The accompanying tools and the fundamental principles of understanding how to use WordPress as a content management system. So this is what we cover in Saturday School. And we also go through something called the WP theme setup guide. And that is what we will be opening now. So once again, thank you for coming to Saturday School. And as I open up the WP theme setup guide, my computer kind of follows me along. Hopefully it won't lag too long. Here we go. Let's see. Open a new window. And hope you guys are doing well this morning as well. So here we go. Okay, present. So the previous weeks we covered, I'll just go back to the table of contents because we'll look at what we have covered. We've gone through everything in discovery. We've gone through initial setup. We've gone through the basic keys of getting it. And now we are in the remainder of the things that we should cover. And I'm just going to mention it beforehand. In the guide, I have come to this is the place in the guide where I have not completely added all the content. We're going to walk through this together though. So I will go back to, let's see, not page templates, but the remainder. And so if you want to catch up on the things that we did go through in all of the previous lessons, then those are actually archived on YouTube. Again, I mentioned it before, but I'm going to need to share my entire screen now that I'm thinking about it again. So I will share my entire screen so that you guys can see as I actually set up the desktop server as well, because you're going to need that. All right, so, okay, can you see that? All right. Okay, so here we go. So essentials of setup and maintenance. This is the very beginning of kind of the remainder. As you begin to set up your theme, as we've done previously, then there are a few things that will make the process and transition smoother. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to go to my local install of WordPress, which is located at localhost. And as I started up, I have a list of websites that I've been working on previously. And the website that we've been working on is called Saturday School Season 2. So what I will do is open up Saturday School Season 2 on a separate tab just to visit the website. So we will get a reminder of what's there and where to go. Then we're going to begin to walk through this. This theme was pretty nice, I remember. And we were going through, last week we went through post types, and we were on the navigation post type, and we also went through page templates on last week as well. So today, as we begin to go through the remainder of what needs to be done, we just kind of reviewing a little bit of some of the things, and we're adding a few of those. We're adding a few things as well. So the first thing you're going to want, number one, is your local and remote install, because you want to first have that local install, as we mentioned before, so that you will be able to have complete control over the website you're creating and not lose any data. And your remote install of your WordPress website is going to be on, whatever host you have chosen in the beginning, whether that's GoDaddy, SiteGround. I mentioned GoDaddy. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. Whichever one you're using, there are tons of them out there. Then you want to have those both installed. Also want to have a backup. I put a backup plugin setup. We did not go through and install a backup plugin, but today I'll just show you that briefly. And backup plugin is honestly, it's something I do for a shared environment host. If I'm building a website or deploying it to a server that I do not have control over, then usually I will install a backup plugin that will either send me a copy of the database or backup to Dropbox or something like that, so that I will have a copy of the files immediately. I don't have to call the host and say, hey, can you give me a copy of the file if something happens. But remember, you will always have a copy of the files if you do develop locally, which I'm recommending you do first off. So having more than a few backups is not a bad thing as well. One really, I guess I would say, one backup plugin that is free that you can use, and it's very easy to set up, is WP. If you go to just your plugins area, navigate to plugins, navigate to add new, and just type backup within the search box, and there are a few backup plugins that show up. The one that I usually use that's free is called WP Up, and that's a great one. But there, I mean, like there are several more that you can try yourself. Um, but WP Up, this one is a pretty nice plugin for the price. Remember, you always get what you pay for, though. Sometimes in the WordPress community, you get really a lot more, but once again, there will be better features to the plugin if you upgrade it. So there are other backup plugins such as Backup Buddy, which is really popular, that you could use as well. But I digress because we are on a local host right now, and the backup would be for your remote host. It would be for your actual host that's not on your computer. Another thing that I would recommend is that you begin to set up your website with limiting the resource usage, keeping that in mind that you want to limit the resource usage. And with that, I would say database clutter would be one of the top things that I would limit. And this is a little bit more, I guess it would be a little bit something that most people would not think of, but there is a plugin called WP Optimize, yes, that you can use for limiting the database clutter that you're building as you create your website. You're going to need to deploy this website once you've created it, and a plugin such as WP Optimize will help you limit some of the database clutter, and I will install it briefly to walk you through what types of things you can do to limit that database clutter. If you go to WP Optimize, see, I've just installed it, and I'm going there to WP Optimize, and it gives you quite a few options. You can clean all your post revisions, clean all the drafts, posts and pages in the trash, and you can remove a bunch of other stuff like spam comments, which you won't be getting because it's local, or unapproved comments. You won't get those either. But if you go to settings on WP Optimize, you can choose how much data you want to keep, which, 2 weeks is usually a lot of data. But you can also choose to just automate every week, removing different types of things like revisions, because the revisions will build up after a while. If you're building your website, they just build up. And drafts, the auto drafts, they build up as well. And the comments you won't have to worry about until you deploy it. So that's one way. And before, if I were deploying this, before I deploy it, I would probably uninstall it. I mean, just to make the load a little bit lighter, to deploy it, and then reinstall it on the actual server. So that's one of the things also that I would just recommend. Plugin clutter. If you're going through your plugins and you got a bunch of plugins that maybe you've tried out while you're actually building your website, then that's to be considered plugin clutter. 2 plugins that I normally get rid of, which I didn't do immediately, would be Akismet and Hello Dolly. That could be considered plugin clutter as well. They're always going to come back every time you update them as well. So I would get rid of plugin clutter as well. As you begin to move forward, just as I've begun to do right here, you can see I'm about to delete Akismet and Hello Dolly. It's not going to hurt my website at all. And so I usually try to keep plugins up to date as well. Right now there's 3 updates, which is 2 plugins in 1 theme. So I can come here to the back end of WordPress and I can just update these plugins, and it keeps my website, as I build, keeps it up to date so that I can be aware of anything that's changed on the front end, and I can move forward with the least resistance. That is the main thing you want to do is, as you're setting up your website, move forward with the least resistance. So I just updated the theme that I have as well. Don't believe I'm currently using the Matrix theme, and so that would be something else that whenever I get ready to deploy the website, I could delete that theme as well. I don't really need that, but I can always leave it here on the local environment just to test. And the last thing, as far as resource usage that you want to just kind of limit, would be, let's see, excuse me, I'm getting off course on our slideshow, would be the old and unused images. So let's say you are building your website, which here on the local website that we've got here, we really don't have a lot of resources that we've added to the media library. So old unused images or media, that doesn't really count for this build of this website. So the next thing I want to talk about is roles and capabilities. User roles in WordPress determine what content can be controlled. This is important for you to know and accessed in your WordPress website. There are 6 default user roles in a self-hosted WordPress. One role is unique to WordPress networks only. I feel like I covered this before, but it may have just been last session, so I'm going to go over it again. Super administrator. The super administrator is the person who is on the WordPress network by default. So that is like a WordPress multi-site install, which is a network. The super administrator is the one who can add new websites, who can manage users, who can do a lot more. And I'll take you to a graph that shows the user's role and capabilities. The next user, which is the default user on a single site WordPress install, is the administrator. So the administrator is the one who, like I said, is the default. I am an administrator on this website, and I can manage users. I can do everything on this website that will allow me, to actually build it. So I'm actually opening up the codex, so you can actually go here as well. I pulled this page up last week, talked about a few things in it, but if you want to get a full picture, go to codex.wordpress.org/roles_and_capabilities. And there is an entire list of all of the roles and capabilities that are assigned to each, all of the capabilities that are assigned to each role. So I'll talk about the next few. The editor, and I basically have put this directly in here from the codex, so I'll just read it from the codex. Editor is somebody who can publish, manage posts, including the posts of other users. So, and then there are more things that the editor can do that are part of his capabilities, his or their capabilities. The author is somebody who can publish and manage their own posts. A contributor is somebody who can write and manage their own posts but cannot publish them. A subscriber is somebody who can only manage their profile. So those are the user capabilities that you should be aware of as you begin your website. The next thing we will cover is plugins. As you can see there, we are going to walk through this together. So plugins. Plugins enhance the capability of your website. It adds functionality to your website. And there are currently in the WordPress repository, I believe, over 32,000 plugins. I may be not precise with my number, but there are 2 ways for you to install plugins to your website. One is through the automatic plugin installer, And the other way is through a plugin upload. If you navigate to plugins and you click on the very top level plugins on the left side of your screen, then you're going to see a list of all of your plugins. This is what we're currently looking at. And you also see on top of that list a few filters. Currently, the filters that we see will be all plugins and active plugins. The filter that shows up here at the top is contextual. So that actually changes as the state of your plugins change. Right now, every plugin that we have installed is active. So there are only 2 filters. If I were to deactivate this plugin, we are going to get 2 more filters. One filter is inactive, and the next filter is recently active. And if I were to delete this plugin, we're going to get one other filter. I'm going to delete this plugin, this file. Actually, I'm sorry. We don't get one other filter. I'm mistaken. That is with post in pages. You get one other filter, which is the trash filter. But when you delete a plugin, it deletes it directly. So the next thing that you can do is add a new filter. If you want to add a new filter, then click on Add New right next to the title plugin. And just because we deleted that plugin, we're going to see if we can find it again. It's called Site Origin Page Builder. And I believe it should be, this is the automatic plugin installer. Sorry. It's Page Builder by Site Origin. Here it is, the very first one that we've seen. I clicked install, and it takes me to the installation screen, and now I'm going to click activate, and I will activate this plugin. And we have deleted a plugin, we have installed a plugin through the automatic installer, we have also reinstalled a new one, or reinstalled an old plugin that we deleted. So the next thing I would like to let you to show you is the screen options here. The top right, every page has screen options, and for plugins, the only 2 options that are available would be for you to change the number of items that appear on a page, which I currently have set to 999, or to change it or to take away the description of the plugin. So I could remove the description of the plugin, or I could change the plugins page to only show 2 plugins. And if it only shows 2 plugins, then it gives me pagination for the remainder of the plugins so that I can page through the plugins. So this is just a little bit about your plugins. And so there are millions of plugins. I'm sorry, let me correct that. If I go to the plugin directory, we can see the exact number because I don't want to misquote it. 42,953 plugins currently. These are only the ones in the plugin directory, but there are also plugins that are sold outside of the plugin directory. So there are plugins being developed all over the world, ways to enhance your WordPress website. And there are some plugins that I use for just adding functionality to my website as I'm building a website that are very helpful. And then there are some that after the website is built, I use those plugins to enhance the performance of the website. And there are so many ways that you can use plugins. So I want you to keep that in mind. Plugins allow you to increase the functionality of your website, whether it be from the administrative area or whether it be from the front end area of your website. I mean, like the user interaction type part of your website as well. Plugins enhance functionality or increase and add functionality. Okay, so now we get to menus. Menus, as we talked about last week, we went over a little bit of this. They can be created or edited from the Appearance menu section in your dashboard. So if you go to Appearance, you click on Menus, you can go there and create menus. This is the menu that we created last week. As we have this open, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up the actual website that we're building and show the front end of it. And this is the menu on the front end. We have sample page 2, we have new posts, we have a Google link, and we also have uncategorized, which is a category that we created that comes by default as part of our blog. So those are the actual 4 links in this menu. If I wanted to, I could go and create a new category within our post, a new taxonomy where we can have posts, and let's just say blog posts. Really generic. I'm creating a category. I navigated to post categories, and I'm creating a category just called blog posts. It's a very generic category, and it's there now. And if I wanted to look at my post, the current post, I go to all posts, and I can actually add these posts to the category through the quick edit functionality. In order to get the quick edit functionality, I just hover over a post and click on quick edit, and I can look underneath category and check blog posts. I can uncheck uncategorize, click update, and I have now added this new post to blog post category that I created. Now I can go back to Appearance, Menus, and I can add this actual category to the menu. So if I look here on the left side, I have what's available to me to add into the menus, which one of them is the blog post category. I check that, select that box, and click Add to Menu, and blog post is now within the menu structure. But I need to save that. So I will click Save Menu, because if I don't save it, I will lose it. And I can go back out to the front end of the website, refresh the page, and now I see blog post category there in the menu. If I click on blog post category, then I'm actually taken to the category archives page, which we determined last week has not been properly coded, because there should be a category, or there should be a blog post here. So this theme has currently does not have an archives page that is properly configured. So we may just want to go and look up a different theme. But at this moment, we're going to go a little bit more over menus. So we talked about menus and also locations. One of the most important things about your menus are locations, because everything comes with default locations. If you go to the menus, if it's still in the menus area, if you look at the very top area of menus, underneath Appearance Menus, then you see Edit Menus, and you also see Manage Locations. In this theme, there's currently only one location, which is Primary Menu. Primary Menu is the location that we see here at the top. There is a widgetized sidebar here, which we could put a menu inside through a widget, through a menu widget as well. However, just keep in mind that whatever theme that you've installed may have a limitation of menus, and without touching the code whatsoever, that is a limit apart from having a widget menu wherever your widgets are located. So I'm going to go back to edit menus. So the first place that you can edit your menus is inside of the actual appearance menus area. The second place that you can edit your menus would be inside of the customizer. In order to get there, there are two ways that you can get there. One is to click on Manage and Customizer button here, or the other way to get to the customizer is under Appearance Customize. So first we're going to go through Appearance Customize. And we're going to find our menu here. So you see this is the customizer, which is more of a real-time editor for your website. When you click on menus in the customizer, then you will get you actually pull up a screen with your menu locations. The first location and the only location on this website is primary. I click on primary, it takes me to the actual menu that's here in the primary area. And as I click on the different menu items, I see lots of different options. Number one, I can change the name of the menu here in primary. I could change it to primary menu, so I can add another word to it. Or I could change it to global navigation. So it's going to change that navigation. It's going to change the name of the actual menu. Does nothing on the front end, but this is just for the back end purposes. When I make that name change, I could save that and publish it, and that menu is now global navigation, which was once primary. I can also look at the different links within the menu and add new menu items. So if I click on Add Items, it's going to open a menu. It's going to open another menu for me to add different items. This is the left sidebar that you saw originally underneath Appearance menus. So I can add new posts. I can add actually posts, custom links, pages, categories, tags, and this format is another one, but there's really nothing inside of here, so that would be different formatted type post. So what I'm just going to do is just add a new post item to the menu, and that's the actual blog post called New Post. So once I've added that, I'm going to save that and publish it. And I can see here in the actual customizer, the live area, that new post has been added here at the top. I've actually got it twice. So if I wanted to, I could delete one of them. And I'll just go ahead and delete this one. And then I save and publish that. And that is forever changed. So I'm going to remove uncategorized as well. Save and publish that. And there we go. We have 4 menu items. And this is how we have gone into the customizer and edited our menu. So if you have 3 menu locations, then all 3 of them would show up here in the customizer. The customizer is very comprehensive, and you can really edit many parts of your website through the customizer. So that's it for menus. Let's move on. Headers. Most websites do have headers, or most themes do have headers that are actually programmed or created within the actual theme. This theme appears to not have a custom header. What we can do is go to Theme Settings just to check that out. And let's see. So we have in our theme settings, underneath Appearance Theme Settings, we have a choice of adding a logo image. We can add a red in the logo, header text, then it says no widget overlay. So here we go. Here's the masthead. Okay, you can change the masthead layout here. And so it varies for every theme. As I mentioned in several previous videos, that these settings will vary across themes. That's why it's important that you know in general where to find these different settings. Under here we have theme settings where we can change it, and we also have the customizer that where we can change this information as well. And as I look through here, as I look through their theme settings, they have quite a few. Um, and you know, just going through here and switching some of these things on and off will give you an idea of what they've attempted to do. The idea for us, though, really is to get this theme to look like what we saw when we first downloaded it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Appearance. We're going to go to Themes, and this is the theme called Vantage. We're going to look at that, and Vantage is a flexible multi-purpose theme. Its strength lies in the tight integration with some powerful plugins like Page Builder and responsive page layouts. So we're remembering that this theme itself is a very, you know, it's pushed as a very flexible theme. And that's why that Page Builder came with the theme itself. And if we were to go to our pages, underneath Pages, All Pages, we're going to head over to our front page, which is Sample Page. And first we're just going to look at the actual page templates. And so yeah, we have Page Builder Home, full width page with no title. These are mostly templates that are blank templates that allow you to build whatever you want to build. So the purpose of this theme is allowing you to build out whatever you want to build out. Currently, this, if I were to navigate back to the home page, it's pretty generic. So, but I could actually go within this site origin page editor and build it out however I wanted to build it out. So the headers in this would be added by you. And so if we were to maybe switch over to a different theme, then that would be a little bit different. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to, let's just activate 2015 because this is more of a generic theme that will allow you to see some of these very generic things as well. So I'm going to refresh this page. I just activated 2015, and here we have our header underneath Appearance Header. And so, like I said, this varies for every theme. And here on the, it takes me to the customizer. When I click on header, I can click and add a new image, and I'll find a file, just a generic file for the header. So let's go to I'm going to upload a file from my resources, images, stock images, and just the basic header. We've used this header before, I believe, some other places. But here we go. I'm adding it. You probably, maybe you can't see that. I hope you can. Once it finishes uploading, then we will select it and crop it. Because we did switch themes to 2015, then we have a we're gonna have a different look and feel on the front end. But I'm gonna save and crop this, and I'm going to set this as the image header. So it is cropping, and it has completed cropping, and I will need to save and publish this as well. And once I've saved and published it, then I can go back out to the front end of the website and refresh, and the image header has changed. So this is the area that 2015 calls its header. So, I mean, I would obviously maybe want to go back in and maybe edit that a little bit. I can, click add new image, and the same image right here, I can actually maybe crop it down a little bit more and have it be a little less distracting. So I'm going to crop that image. And there we go, better positioning for that hand in the cell phone. And I'm going to actually should have saved it. You always have to save and publish. And then go back to the website, refresh on the front end, and there we go. You really can't even see the cell phone now. But you get the beautiful background with the clouds and the sidebar and this header image, which is more of a sidebar image. So there you have the header, which is sometimes the default option. So let's talk about sidebars and widgets, because in this theme currently, you have your sidebars and your widgets basically in the same area as the header, and that's here on the left side. And it will change with different setups, and each theme is unique. Just from the beginning, that's something you're going to need to remember. Every theme is going to be unique, but these are the general areas where you're going to need to find these things. So you can navigate to the area where the widgets are underneath Appearance. If you're at your dashboard, go to Appearance, Widgets, and when you click on widgets, it will bring up your widget screen. And on your left side of the widget screen, you have every available widget that is available within your current setup, with the amount of plugins you have installed and with the theme that you have as well. If you look below that, you have inactive sidebar that is not used. You have the widgets that are no longer available, or they're not available because of a theme switch, or, well, below that is your actual inactive widgets. So you have three options here. And if you look on the right, you have the actual widget area. And you can change these widgets very easily by dragging them either out to deactivate them, or you can click on the arrow button on the top right hand of the widget and then click on the delete button on the bottom left hand side of the widget and delete them. So what I'm going to do is just remove a couple of widgets. Right now we have search, archives, categories, meta. And so we have one sidebar, and that is the one sidebar here on the left hand side. It's a very basic theme, but it'll work. So currently we have search, archives. We're going to remove archives, and then let's remove meta as well. So we removed actually I think 4 widgets, but we have not refreshed this website. So we're going to refresh it now, and it appears that search and categories is here they are. So we have search and categories right below the menu. So on this sidebar, not only do we have our actual menu here on the 2012 theme, but we also have our widget area right below the menu. everything's in one spot. You may not like that setup, but if you were to go in and change your theme, then you'll get a different setup. Media sizes. So this is important, in my opinion, for every person to understand, because when you are setting up your theme, there will be specific sizes that you can define for images that you upload, and that can be found underneath Settings, Media. So here's, if you go navigate to Settings, Media, then just reading this, the sizes listed below determine the maximum dimensions in pixels to use when adding an image to the media library. So you're going to realize that you have several sizes that you can have your actual content come into your website. So you can have a thumbnail size, you can have a medium size with this particular theme, and you can have a large size. And you can change these size through this backhand area. And then you can also, in this very media settings area, choose how you want to upload and organize your uploaded files. And you can organize those those uploads into month and year-based folders to help you to just kind of find those easier. If I were to change the thumbnail size to 100 by 100, you see a thumbnail of the square by 100. And when I upload a new image into the media library, then it's going to give me that media size. Currently, that thumbnail size was 150, and a way that I can go in and really check out my media, which sizes of media I have, is to go into maybe one of my posts, and that's what I'm going to do right now. If I go to post, I'm just going to click on new post and click edit. I previously uploaded the image of the guy with the cell phone in his hand, and when I come to the media library, then I can get information about the sizes of the media that I've uploaded. So when I crop these two images, it produced two new photos, but the original is here. And if I come here to the right hand side, this gives me actual information about the attachment, this media attachment, and I can see that I have the thumbnail of 100 by 100, the medium size of 300 by 500, the large of 660 by 440, and then I have the full size of 5760 by 3840. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add each one of these images into the post, just so that I will get a feel of all of the options that are currently available to me. So that is the full size. Let's add in the next size. Here is the large. There's the large. Let's add the next size. I'm going to click on Add Media and go to Medium. Insert the medium into the post. There's medium. And now I'm going to do the final size, which is the thumbnail. Insert that into the post. And now I'm going to update the post. And I'm just going to view it. So once this post is updated, save, gonna view it. Click, go to the post itself and view it. Okay, so there we have it. This should be the full size. I may have put it as a large, but let me just briefly check that out. So yeah, I placed a large image here instead of the full size. So let's trade that out. The full size is actually probably going to be too large for this content area. But let's just play around with it. Yeah, I think actually because it is too large, WordPress is actually allowing it to just be changed on the fly. I could be wrong. Maybe one of our students can let me know. All right, so when I pull up the post again, yeah, so I see each one, actually, yeah, each one of these, even though this should be the large, I think WordPress is actually automatically shifting that out because this content area is not, it's not going to fit that large. But the background, it makes a great background for it. So those are our media sizes. Another little, just kind of another little building block to help you understand some of the basics. Featured images. The next thing I want to talk about, since we are already on the post, is featured images. Featured images allow your post to have a featured image. And when you're in the actual post editor, if you look on the right side of your post, underneath the publish settings, the format settings, the category settings, tag settings, there is a featured image setting. And you can click there to set your featured image. And I'm just going to pick our generic image, and I'm going to use that to set the featured image for this post. And I'm going to click update. And once I click update, my featured image is now set. But with this current theme, I won't actually see the featured image. So what I'm going to do is go in really quick and switch the theme so that you can see what a featured image will look like when it's displayed as a featured image on a post. So let's just switch over to, I think it's 2016 may have featured images on there. So switching to 2016. And if it's not 2016, then I know 2014 has it. So we have 2016, and the front page is actually a sample page, but if I were to go to the actual post page, then I don't see a feature image there. So let's get a better theme. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard and go to the themes, and we're just going to choose 2014. We're going to activate that, refresh the home page, and we're going to add a post, or we're going to go to the settings, reading really quick, and we're just going to put our latest posts on the front page just so that you can actually see those posts on the front page. And there you go. Looks like a mess because the header is there, but you also see that you see this post and you see it has a featured image there. So this is not as organized as we want it to be because we have switched out themes about 3 or 4 times. But featured images are just that. They're featured images per post. One theme that I actually really like and that I could recommend for you, that displays featured images really well, is a theme called Virtue. Virtue theme is a very nice theme, and there are tons more, but Virtue theme is a free one as well. It is 10:11. We have a few more minutes left, and we're going to talk about shortcodes. And then after we talk about shortcodes briefly, then we'll take a few questions if there are any questions. But we're bringing this Saturday school to a close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the theme that we started with today, called Vantage. And we are going to navigate to, first we're going to navigate to sample page 2. And we're going to look at it. So we're going to edit. We're going to click on edit, and I'm going to show you a little bit about shortcodes. Shortcodes enable different types of functionality on your website, whether that be through a plugin or through a default shortcode that is within your that's already built in WordPress. One of the default shortcodes that is built into WordPress is an actual gallery, and so I'll show you that. If you want to build a gallery like a photo gallery, there's a quick way for you to create a photo gallery shortcode. You click on Add Media, and then you click on Create Gallery, and select whatever images you want for your gallery. So I have 4 images selected here, and I'm going to click Create New Gallery. And the gallery gives me, an option of different settings. I can allow it to have 3 columns, 2 columns, or 4 columns, all the way up to 9 columns. I'm going to check 2, and I'm just going to put random order. The size I'm going to choose is thumbnail. And then when I click Insert Gallery, what WordPress is going to do is actually insert that gallery. Now, if I were to, instead of click on the visual tab, instead of look at it from the visual perspective, if I were to click on the text tab, then that's going to take me to the actual text area where I can see the shortcode. The shortcode here for the gallery is enclosed in the square brackets. And this shortcode gives me several options like columns and IDs. And it's pulling the IDs of the actual photos. And then when it says order by, it's actually basically stating this is how we're going to order your photos. So this is random, and then each one of these is a photo ID. I know it's a little bit more involved to try to know this. You don't even have to know this shortcode, because most plugins and most of the functionality in WordPress will be inserted by default. You won't ever have to touch this area. So just know that that is what's going on behind the scene. This is a shortcode, and if I go back to the visual tab, you'll see my gallery. I can click update, and once I click update on this actual page, I can go back out to the page because it's on a separate tab. And this, I had not refreshed it, so I'm going to go back to the actual website. As it's refreshed, go to sample page 2, and here is my gallery. 4 images, and I can go through my gallery. This is a shortcode that was inserted into the website by WordPress itself. So that is a brief overview of shortcodes and the other few things that we covered today. And right now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and let's see. Do we have any questions? Generally, if you select an image size that is larger than the content area, will shrink it down to fit, especially in responsive designs. Okay, so that was some feedback from Jess, who was part of our broadcast. I know I kind of drug this on a little bit today. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And if not, then why delete the plugin Akismet? Okay, so that's a good question. So I deleted the plugin Akismet. I normally delete Akismet by default because I normally don't use it. It is really good, and you could actually have a you can get a license of it for free. But I guess personally, I haven't used Akismet a lot. But if you want to use that plugin, Akismet is actually a very good plugin. I only have it on a few websites, but it is a very good plugin. I fight spam with several other plugins, but Akismet is probably one of the best. And so, yeah, it's not necessary to delete it. That's if that's the only question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Any other questions currently? If not, I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and yes, and I really hope I didn't drag it out too long and make you bored, but that is our session for today. And join us again next week with Saturday School. We will be going over more in the WP theme setup guide. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.